Okay, guys, I don't think a week goes by that I don't get an email from somebody asking what's an idea for a good first date. Well, now I'm going to assume that when you first met this girl, that you took the time to at least try to get to know her a little bit. With that thought in mind, maybe you heard some of her interests. Maybe it was hiking, maybe it was a museum, maybe it was the opera. Who knows? That doesn't matter. But maybe you could build a first date around what she is interested in. Now, that would be kind of interesting, right? She'd think, wow, this guy really put some effort into this. The thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be traditional. In other words, hey, how about dinner and a movie? Oh, that is so tired and so mundane, so to speak. Not to mention, if you happen to pick the wrong movie and it sucks, what are you going to do? Plus, you're sitting in a dark theater. Now, that could be cool if you know her, but this is the first date. You're sitting there, you're not talking. You basically can't talk or you'll get shushed by people in the audience. So you've got to sit there quietly, watch the movie, hope that she's enjoying it, but not really knowing if she is. And then when it's over, you haven't gotten to know her at all. Now, if it was a movie in a park, that might be a whole different situation where you can, lay on a blanket and watch the evening kind of settle and the people around you are interacting. Now, that would be cool, but that's not always going to be apropos depending on where you live and what time of the year it is. Another thing that probably is not good on a first date is going for coffee. Now, I love coffee. I drink it all the time, and I certainly have taken girls for coffee, but not necessarily on the first date. Now, if you can kind of blend that into something like let's grab a coffee and then we'll go to the park and then we'll take our dogs for a walk or any number of things like that, then it's cool. But if you're just going to sit at a table across from one another at the local Starbucks or wherever, several things are going to happen. Number one, you can't touch her. You really can't get intimate. And I'm not talking about touching her sexually, just light touching to kind of bond, so to speak. It's a very intense situation when you're just across from someone. You don't know much about her. You have very little to talk about because you don't know one another. Much better would be something like, oh, let's just say a comedy club where there's entertainment in front of you. You're sitting next to her. There's going to be ample opportunity for touching. Probably you're laughing together. You're sharing a drink. At the end of the evening, you've gotten to know one another. And if perchance you didn't have a lot to talk about, well, you had a good time anyway because the comic was funny. And if he is funny and you see her laughing, you can certainly lean over and whisper something into her ear about something that you enjoyed about her or him, meaning the comedian or whatever. But this takes the intensity out of it and allows you to get to know one another more easily. And now here's another good thought. Instead of going to one place for 4 hours, assuming your date's about 4 hours long, much better to go to four different places for 1 hour each. That's variety. As we all know, variety is the spice of life. Plus, it gives you the opportunity to get to know one another in different environments, much more to talk about. And plus, if one or more of the venues is lame, you don't have to stay there. You can move on to venue number two. So mix it up, guys. Now, of course, I don't know where you live, but where I live, I'm in a decent sized city, and there seems to be always something going on, whether it's a art walk or a music festival or a garden spectacular or something going on in the park. There's always something interesting, and it's a good place to take a date to find out if she might be interested in going. So let's just say you call her up, you say, hey, there's something happening this Saturday that I think that you'd be interested in. It's going to take place at the park. It's about such and it's at such and such a time. Hey, would you like to come? you can pretty much tell immediately if she is interested or if she is really not interested in dating you. Now, we're hoping that you've already crossed that bridge and she is interested, so let's think positive. But mainly, guys, be confident, be spontaneous, be inventive, and never, never be normal. Think outside of the box. Go for the gusto, guys. And if you haven't already downloaded the Secret Spaniel, do so.